another brand new episode here on Sunnyside Farms. As you can see, we have got the combine out. And we are busy with the harvest. We need the wheat. I've just had a quick walk through the field and we're looking as though we're going to get roughly about 10 tons to the hectare, which is not too bad. That's about roughly 5.5 tons to the acre, which again for wheat is not bad, but in Norfolk definitely achievable. We would always aim for wheats to be in and around the 10-11 ton an acre, a hectare. Excuse me. On the farm, and we'd be very disappointed if we didn't achieve that. That would be milling wheat that we would be looking for that. But yeah, no. Anyway, hope you're all well. I'm doing fantastically well. Not having a bad day, and yeah, hope, as I say, you're all having a good day too, and ready to enjoy a little bit of Sunnyside Farms. So, as I said in the previous videos, Monday and I think probably Tuesdays as well, should be back to normal now. I've got one or two little things in terms of meetings coming up, but for myself, because I've got one or two little things myself going on in life, and good things, positive things, and so I've got one or two people to meet to try and make that happen. Still got my flashes on. Oh, I'm trailing. Oh no. Well, we'll do the outside breed and then we'll trail on the next one. Oh, I should have been trailing. Darn it. Yeah, vitally important that for a small farm like ourselves that you know, we're taking every resource from the land that we can, and not only from the land but also from the crops that we grow too. You know, we need to be trailing straw because you know, the bales are obviously extra money. I know it's a bit of a trek down there and what have you, but at the end of the day, as I say, they are extra money, and you know, we need it. Although our eggs are doing very nicely, we've not run out of food. We've got about 6,000 litres of wheat left, so we've not run out. But you know, that's hence the reason why I've started in the wheat field and not the rape field, because I you know, I don't need rape quite as desperately as I need wheat at the moment, but and that's probably always the case, to be fair. But yeah, we're gonna have to hold up there because we didn't notice quick enough that the tank was nearly full. So that tells you alone that it's a really good yield, because as I say, we've got probably about halfway round and we're already needing to unload. So I'm hoping the David Brown should be able to get alongside from there. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so a bit later today I've got an old eye test to go. Mentioned it the other day in one of my videos, and yeah, not looking forward to it, but there we go. Needs must. Needs must. Now then, is that David Brown coming or not? He is. He's just taking his merry sweet time about it. Yep, yeah, really could move a bit quicker if you want to. I mean, you know, I know it's a David Brown and all, but I think that David Brown is fairly capable of pulling that train just a tad bit quicker. Here he is. Hopefully we should unload now. can't see the auger in these old combines and they don't reverse. Sometimes the tractors and trailers will just suddenly decide, oh, actually I need to reverse here because we're unloading wheat into the trailer, and my trailer was lovely and clean before you did that, so I'm going to reverse out the way. But looks as if it's gonna, or she's gonna hold on, which is good. So we are gradually emptying. Yeah, we're going to empty. That's brilliant. I should think that trailer is pretty much full. It's half full. And right, we will crack on then with some. Oh, did the auger not go in? Yes, the auger did go in. Are you just now deciding that actually you want to race me down the field? Okay. As long as you don't turn in front of me and brake check me, I'm not really too worried. Yep, no idea what that tractor and trailer is doing there, but very, very funny. So we'll get this harvest out of the way. I say the eggs are doing very well. So once we get harvest out of the way, then we'll start to look at as well. We'll look as well at selling the eggs. You know, because again, that's going to bring in probably, I guess, probably, I don't know, 50-60 grand. You know, which at the moment is every penny counts, because so to my left is the rape field, and then to that left there's the second wheat field, and then to that left there's a field of wheat that's withered. It's not my field, it's the computer owned field, but I would love to buy that field. I would absolutely love to buy that field, because that way you know, we'd be able to grow another wheat field. So this field next year will come second wheat, and the field to my left or behind me now will be first wheat, and then the other wheat field that we've got, that will be rape. So that's the sort of small rotation that we're running at the moment, but yeah, it's you know, it's humble beginnings, and you know, we'll get there eventually, and then once we start to get there, we will you know, have a better rotation, because we'll be able to grow more crops, you know, as long as we're growing the quantity of wheat that we require. Then you know, we're going to be doing okay. So as long as we're growing, you know, enough wheat, that will look after the chickens. You know, I think once those chicken coops get full, I think they're going to be pretty much our main source of income. Also as well, the years are going to tick by relatively quickly, because there's not a great deal to do on the farm. Incidentally, you may or may have not realised, oh, I've not traded again, am I? Bugger. You may or may have not realised, but the last episode of this save that went up then came back down again, and it came back down again because I actually said something in there that so I had a couple of messages in the video from some, you know, some people that you know, I respect quite well and value the opinion of, and they said I really wouldn't say that. Not only that as well, there was some audio issues as well, so I don't know why, but the audio kept crackling and breaking up, which, as I say, I don't know why, because it was fine when I recorded it, when I was converting it to a video, but when it went up onto YouTube, it was all crackly and bitty. Not all of it, but just a sort of there was like a section in the middle, and in the end I just sort of thought, well, you know, some people are saying, you know, I wouldn't say that, and not only that as well, but I've also got audio issues. So therefore, you know, because what they had the problem with, I didn't think was that bad. So I'm just wondering. I don't think it should affect it if it will let me turn. I don't think it should affect it, but I'm wondering if their speeds are set for power harrowing, and yes, and they therefore mean that they cannot drive at their full whack. So what actually we need to do? I don't like doing this, but they're set for power harrowing speed. There we go. I think that's the reason why they're coming so slowly. But yeah, so I just thought, given everything that's sort of kind of happened in that video, I'll just take the video down. I've done loads of recording and converting since then. I haven't put any of the videos up apart from the Ranch Simulator one and obviously the 2 farming sim videos. So excuse me, I haven't I've put them up, but the other videos that I did after I recorded this episode, when the mic was crackling and stuff, I recorded just some random videos, and they all turned out fine. So yeah, so all good there. Right, hopefully now they should travel at the normal speeds. I always forget to check the speeds of those vehicles, but then I always kind of, I think in my mind as well, think, oh well, auto drive will override that because it will know that I don't want the tractors to travel at 4 miles an hour when grain carting. But I guess if that's what I've told, you know, and I suppose it's just obeying what I've told the tractor to do or whatever. But yeah, that was the reason why they were set at 4, is because obviously they were power harrowing in front of the drill. So, but when I get round this time, I really must remember to start trailing, because as I say, we're missing out on money. You know, I mean, you know, it could be that that's £4,000 or £5,000 that we've missed out on 2 rounds of the headland. You know, and that's a lot of money. You know, that's a lot of money for a farm like ourselves, as I say, especially because I'm saving up to try and buy land. So I'm not too worried about machinery at the moment. You know, in terms of, you know, upgrading or anything like that, I'm not too worried about any of that at the moment. I'm more concerned about, we need to buy land, and you know, we need to buy lots of land. So that would be that is my primary sort of concern and objective at this moment in time, is to you know, is to buy the land that's available. So, or not necessarily available, but what we can afford. But yeah, so as I say, hopefully we won't obviously get all of the combine done in this episode. It will probably spread, hopefully just 2, but at a push I would say this is going to be 3 episodes of combining. But you know, I know that's sort of kind of repetitive, but you know, it's a farming channel and I do farming sim, you know, as my main game, as you all know. And sadly that's farming, you know, for weeks and weeks of the year. You know, you're constantly doing the same jobs, and I would feel like I would cheat you guys out of, you know, sort of seeing the process if I sort of then said, oh, combining's done, you know, after one video. So just come along for the ride, you know, and as I say, enjoy it. You know, one of those videos might be a chatty video, so we can have a chat about stuff, you know, or they may just be, you know, sort of like this. Well, that looks a bit better. It already looks like they're moving a bit quicker, but and I need to, hopefully that's done it. Right, at least I remembered what boom is. Yeah, we're doing it now. Okay, we're good to go. I don't know why that was, I don't know why that was not on trail. That's odd. I don't normally, unless I've caught the button by mistake, because I pretty much do remap all of the buttons. I'm guessing this will pretty much fill him, so I always put the auger out at 50% because at 50% grain tank capacity, because it takes them so long to get here that usually by the time they get there the tank's full, but they're nearly there. Do you know what I mean? I haven't got to wait that sort of time once the tank's full. Keep going till the end, mate. I think he should just stop anyway, because yeah, he knows it's the end of the field. And then we can put the auger in. Hopefully he won't follow. I wouldn't have gone that way personally, but hey ho. I have to admit, actually, 1950s farm I absolutely love, just because of the size of fields, how to the size of equipment, and the fact that I discipline myself to sit there for the amount of hours that I need to sit there to do, those big fields, and so I really like that, because, as I say, I have to really discipline myself to sit there and just get on with it. So I really love that, and I just like the premise, and I like the history behind it, and for those of you who do watch that series regularly, there is lots more history coming. It's just we've kind of hit a bit of a, but once we go into the sort of later 50s and to the early 60s, there's quite a bit more history to come. And I absolutely love this series as well, just with the David Browns. Absolutely, it's my childhood. As I say, this is the equipment is loosely based on the farm that I ended up working for, but is farmed all the fields around my house where I grew up, because they pretty much owned all of the land around there, this is the equipment. If I could find some of the old photos that I've got, I'll either do like a short where I'll flick through them, or I'll put them at the end or at the beginning of something of one of these videos, and just show you the equipment and stuff. But it's like I say, it's truly, honestly, I just love it. I just love it. It's just, as I say, a complete flashback to my childhood, and standing, sort of in the gap of the conifers, looking out at the fields, sort of behind my house and what have you, and then down the road to the left, and then down the road to the right, and of course back in the 80s, as a sort of 7-8 year old, I could walk down the road quite safely, but yeah, it just, as I say, I just wish the game had, or there was a mod of a track marshal crawler that would top this off unbelievably. But we're not going to get one now. With FS22 being so close. So yeah. But no, it's all good, and as I say, I really do enjoy it. But anyway, I've rabbited on for far too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to some time lapse, and you can listen to some music, and I'll see you at the end of the video when we have a little bit more chat. Okay, bye for now. And I'm back. So that has got pretty much most of this field done. We've obviously got the gauze over there to do, but that will disappear quite quickly, because obviously as you go a bit further, as you get further and further into that, you know, the breeds get shorter and shorter and shorter. Normally, when you get a bit like this, certainly in real life combining, I wouldn't combine it like this. To be fair, I'd be using GPS, so I wouldn't get a bit like this left in the middle of the field. You sometimes get it at the end of the field where, you know, the GPS, you know, just couldn't quite get it to fit all, you know, sort of a full width. But you certainly wouldn't get this in the middle of the field. But so if you was driving as I used to on the first farm without GPS, what you would actually do is you drive the combine sort of almost down the middle, if you like, the middle of the cab on the edge of the end of the row on the left hand side, and then so you've got half and half, so it makes it worthwhile coming back, because obviously you're only going to be combining a very small strip. It doesn't really matter as much in this one because it's obviously a small combine and a small header, so you kind of, you know, it's not as bad as if it was a bigger header. But the reason why I didn't do it was because I didn't want to, I don't know, you can't on farming sim, but as I say, I do try to play this game as though it is real life. But in real life, you wouldn't, actually, I don't need to put that out yet because they're a bit near. You wouldn't run the combine header down the straw that you've already laid, because obviously the combine will pick it back up. And you know, and then it becomes a very expensive, you know, sort of straw turner. So you would, you know, not in real life, you wouldn't do it. And plus as well, you don't really want just straw running through the combine. You know, there are times when you can't avoid it. You know, and you know, I guess that's okay because there's not much you can do about it. But for a whole breed, I wouldn't want to be bringing in straw, so therefore I had to cut it as narrow as what I did. But as it was, the gap from one straw row to the other straw row is actually sort of near enough the perfect width for the header, and although it is only a thin strip that we're running down, the fact that the header's not running into no straw, you know, sort of in my eyes would make that okay, and that's how and why I would do it that way in real life. But yeah, so, but no, it's gone well. You know, we've taken a good bit off here, and hopefully the other field's going to yield just as well. You know, I'm hoping that we're going to get nearly, I would like to think that we would get close to 200,000 litres of wheat, because we're going to need that much, if not a bit more. So you know, that's what I'd hope that we would be able to achieve. But yeah, it will just, you know, sort of, I guess, remain to be seen what we do actually achieve out of it. But it's gone very well, and I know we missed the first two breeds of straw around the headland, but with the straw that we've laid in the middle of the field, with the thickness of the crop, you know, crikey, you know, it hopefully will be that. Oh, that was the wrong button. I didn't want that one away. Right, we'll cut it from this side this time, and there is a reason for that. We don't want to leave the lands too wide now in the gauze, because otherwise you'll be stopping halfway down the field one side and having to travel all the way down to the end to turn around to come back again up a breed that's still the full length of the field. So you want to now make the breeds quite short, because on the left hand side the field's going to be getting shorter, but on the right hand side it's still going to be a full length breed. So what you don't want to do is be driving halfway across the field not doing anything, because you're just using diesel for, you know, sort of really no reason. So that's why now you now shorten your lands right in, so that you're not travelling too far, not doing nothing, you know, not cutting basically. But yeah, so Hence the reason why we do it this side, because normally if it was going to be just full length breeds, I would have, where my steering wheel's now running down that wheeling, I would have the right hand side of the header running down there, and I'd cut it a little bit wider. But as I say, if I do it too wide, we're going to end up sort of travelling sort of distances with not cutting, and like I say, you don't want to be running a combine where you're not cutting, as in a field. You need to be cutting the majority of the time, and you'll sort of see when we get down here that we'll already be quite a bit shorter. So if that does turn out the case that I've still cut it a bit wide, what we'll do is we'll just go to the left hand side where we've made the lands. We'll go to that side and then just keep combining that round and round, and then move across and then cut down a tram line and then combine that round and round. You can do it that way, because that way it does mean you're not driving massive distances then not cutting, but we'll see if we can get away with it. We might be able to, we might not, but as I say, up here it might not necessarily be this breed, but as we go a bit further and further and further along, I mean, you can already see, if you take the far left hand side, of the crop to the left of us, where that ends to where this one ends, and suddenly we've got to drive then a long distance. So as I say, you don't want the combine travelling those distances, not cutting. So yes. Alright, we'll put the auger out. We didn't combine that very straight, did we? Mind you, the tram line doesn't look all that straight, to be fair, but yeah. And I'm going to leave the video here, because I keep getting the memory warning coming up. So I'm about to run out of memory again. Story of my life in terms of computer. So I'm going to end here before it abruptly cuts it, and I won't get a chance to say thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, like, comment, subscribe, share, and join me again next time, because I really look forward to seeing you. Bye for now.